Doesn't it suck when you feel like you don't belong? Let that sink in for a second. I bet most of you would agree that a sense of belonging is important for most of us. Feeling a sense of identity, feeling connected to others. Like when I was a kid in Israel, I was missing my 2 front teeth. And last Christmas, for the first time, I heard the song. You might know it too. All I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth. For me, it was a genetics thing, not a big deal amongst my friends. No one seemed to notice or even care. I was 10 years old when my family moved to Canada. 3 years later, I'm back visiting Israel. I'm standing there outside my front door. I look over and I see 2 girls I've known half my life. They look a little taller, and they're speaking in Hebrew, all animated. They see me. They start walking up my driveway. I should say hi, I miss them. Instead, I turn my back on them, facing the closed door. I felt ugly. And there's something else I felt I didn't understand back then. You see, in Canada, I was different. The way I spoke, the way I acted, just completely different from kids in Canada. Bullies, they noticed my missing 2 front teeth. And smelly sandwiches that my mom used to make with salami and mayonnaise. I smell different from kids in Canada. Mom, I actually love those sandwiches. Now, facing the closed door, I know I'm different from kids in Canada. In Israel, I felt ashamed, embarrassed, ugly. I felt like I didn't belong. I mean, what 13-year-old boy would be terrified to see his friends? I felt like I'll never measure up. I call that my closed door moment. My name is Karasin. I'm a co-founder of a global youth movement called Youth Empowering Youth. Working with youth ages 8 to 18 in 6 countries, over 1,000 people, I learned that closed door moment, the moment where you believe you'll never measure up, turns out that closed door moment is universal. For me, it was a new culture. Canada is different from Israel. A new language. English is different from Hebrew. And a human experience. Missing your 2 front teeth can make you feel ugly. And smelly sandwiches can get you beat up. Back then, I felt different. I felt excluded. I didn't feel like the other kids in Canada. And listening to youth share inside of Youth Empowering Youth, I learned I wasn't alone. Young people experience an assortment of root causes. Being bullied, being picked last, or not being picked at all. Today, when gender identity is confusing, when humor is confusing, or when social media influencers seem superhuman, you might experience that closed-door feeling. The result? You might ask, why don't I feel seen? Why don't I feel heard? Why don't I feel accepted? You know why? Because you might lose a connection to self, to you, to who you are. And disconnection can make you feel angry, depressed, alone. Taking drugs, drinking alcohol, cutting yourself, or binge watching Netflix. You might think, could this get worse? Sure. But does it have to? I was 29 years old when I experienced my open door moment. Okay. Part of this is embarrassing for me. In my darkest hour, I ended a 10-year relationship. I wasn't taking care of my health or my mental well-being. Frankly, I didn't even know how. I even had a run-in with the police. I didn't feel needed, let alone wanted, like that time in Israel. Nothing went right. What would you do in my shoes? What I thought was best was to leave, get away. And what better place to escape than to Whistler, BC? Mountains, lakes, clean air, fresh atmosphere. On the way, I thought I should go see my friend Michelle, my friend's older sister, someone who understood me, someone who could almost always get me out of trouble. I text Michelle. I'm standing there in front of this big blue door, carrying the weight of the world, wondering why. Why am I here? I want to hide. I want to be alone. I hear, "The door's open!" Michelle, sitting at her kitchen table, looks up, recognizes my pain, says, "Hi." The tallest girl I know, she stands, hugs me, gives me that sense of comfort that I've been yearning for. I let my guard down, poured my heart out, and towards the end of our hour-long conversation, Michelle looks at me and says, "Lev, surround yourself with people practicing self-improvement. Lev, change yourself. Change the world." What does that even mean? I had no idea, but I was willing to find out. Michelle's words changed me. I no longer see the world as a threat, but as a challenge full of resources and opportunities. Practicing self-improvement, attending self-help seminars, making new friends, and meeting friends of friends. I start reading biography, psychology, business. I feel inspired. By the way, that 10-year relationship I ended, Kristen, sitting here today, accepted my hand in marriage, the joy of my life. And now we have a beautiful daughter named Tenley. No, not Ted Lee. Tenley, like the number 10. Remember Michelle's words. Surround yourself with people practicing self-improvement. One person I met, who's also sitting here today, is Matthew Clapwick. Matthew was hosting a self-help seminar on financial wealth building. We got together for a coffee and shared our early experiences as youth and realized that what we know now would have made such a huge difference, learning about how to deal with failure and setbacks and leadership. That's where Youth Empowering Youth was born. A couple years later, I'm attending a self-help seminar on leadership, and I meet Reza Mirvasti. Now get this, Reza is the founder of Power of Play. It's an organization that works in refugee camps in developing countries, building playgrounds with kids out of recycled materials. His mission is simple. Let kids be kids. Another person that Reza introduces Matthew and I to is Dembe Omar. Dembe is a director of education for the Dufat Naya organization. Dufat Naya is an organization that helps vulnerable communities live healthy in Rwanda. Dufat Naya is a word in a language Urdu. Doesn't Urdu sound like a character out of Star Wars? Dufat Naya means join together. Our organizations join together. Imagine a war zone where kids are planning and building their own playgrounds, learning leadership and life skills, and taking these lessons back to their parents and their siblings. We never thought that kids would be changing their entire communities. Just like when friends get together and learn from one another, our organizations are learning from one another as this world gets better. When I change my view of the world, I get different kinds of results. I feel I am enough. Here's my point. You don't know who you'll meet when you start practicing self-improvement, and when you surround yourself with others who are practicing self-improvement, the result is astounding. You won't know your impact in the world until you grow your sense of connection, your identity evolves, and you become the best version of you. Remember, when you find yourself facing closed-door moments, moments where you feel you'll never measure up, know that you can find your way to open-door moments too. Moments where you believe you are enough. When everyone wants to get better, the whole world transforms. Surround yourself with people practicing self-improvement. Change yourself. Change the world. Thank you.